Hey guys, I'm Zach here and welcome to my channel. So after playing with Mercy's perks for a week or so, I feel confident enough to give you guys my overall opinion on Mercy's perks. But before we get into that, let me first show you guys why you should feel comfortable in trusting me with my opinion. As you can see here, I have an unhealthy amount of hours on Mercy, first and foremost. And second and foremost, I've been to Masters and even at top 500 by mainly playing Mercy as well, so you can feel comfortable and trust me that overall of my opinion. The first thing I want to go over is Angelical Recovery. I know with this perk, a lot of Mercy mains feel very iffy on this, and unfortunately, I also feel the same way as well. I don't want to start with like the cons first. I want to first start with the pros. There are times that Angelical Recovery does come into clutch, as you can see from this clip example. This really is helpful and useful if you're going up against characters like Tracer, Sombra, or Winston, basically characters who are like divers. This could be beneficial for you guys, but overall I find it to be very niche in my honest opinion. I don't really think that this is a must use perk really. I just find this perk to be very situational. One, two, I really think it needs a bit of a buff in my honest opinion, because of the fact that you are able to recover your health by putting on a beam, rather as a damage boost or a healing beam onto our ally that is fully health. I think that it's kind of useless, especially over the fact that Mercy already has a passive where she's able to regenerate her health by latching on to an ally with a healing beam. So really, I wouldn't recommend using this perk too often in my honest opinion. The next I want to talk about is Winged Reach. At first reading it, it didn't sound all that impressive, but after playing it for a couple of hours on it, it's actually kind of decent. It's actually more of a quality of life change for Mercy, instead of being like an absolute, well, it could be a turn of the tables kind of a perk, but it's not as like insanely crazy like Kitago's, for example, where she's able to throw a kunai and be able to heal her allies afterwards. Well, of course, she gotta hit her target and then she'll be able to heal her allies afterwards. But anyways, I really like this perk a lot. I think this perk is way better than Angelical Recovery, over the fact like this clip, for example, where after you die and you get close to like the battlefield, you'll be able to get there much more quicker with Wing Recovery than not having that. Also, the fact that this is actually really useful when getting to like allies that are like Far and Echo, for example, who likes to fly and stuff like that, and sometimes they fly far away from you. Or you have Ana or Widowmaker, for example, who tends to play more at the back line, and it's pretty hard to reach to them without Wing Recovery. The only downside through my experience with using Wing Recovery is that it kind of messes up your muscle memory while not having it. So let's say if you do want to pick an Angelical Recovery instead of Winged Reach, it kind of messes you up a little bit, because you're like thinking that you'll be able to get to an ally, but then you realize, oh right, I don't have the ring reach. Honestly, I feel like this should be a buff from Mercy instead of it being a perk, in my honest opinion. But let's be honest, Blizzard are too afraid to be buffing Mercy, honestly. This is why most of these perks that Mercy have are just very mid, in my honest opinion. I'm not saying mid in a bad way. Like, it's good, but also bad at the same time. It needs some buffs and more tweaking, in my honest opinion, especially with the perk that I'm going to be talking about right now. which is Flash Heals. I think Flash Heals is pretty good, but I still think it needs a little tweaking as well. So let's talk about the pros with Flash Heals. Flash Heals is pretty decent at saving your allies' life when they are getting close to death. This is also a pretty good perk to use if you are like a main healer sort of kind of way. Like say with this team, for example, I had a Zenyatta on my team, so naturally I would use the Flash Heals instead of the other perk, which would greatly help boost the survivability for my team, basically. That's really the pros with using Flash Heals over the fact that it's really good at saving your allies and at critical situation, and also it's a really good perk to use when you are like the solo healer of the team. But the con is the fact that Flash Heals shares the same cooldown as the Flash Heal, which kinda makes it a very situational choice when using Flash Heals, really, because you have to like be careful because of the fact that if you use up your Flash Heals and your ally is dead, now you just have to wait 15 seconds to be able to resurrect your ally. I really think Flash Heal should be its own cooldown instead of sharing the cooldown with Resurrection. But I get it, they're like, ever since the Moth Meta Mercy situation, I feel like Blizzard has been very, very afraid to make Mercy more valuable. I mean, she is to an extent like valuable. I say she's a lot better than she was in the previous season. She still is kind of weak and is still very much so a niche pick, but I will say for sure that she is a little bit better than she was before. I will say that for certainty. But that's one problem that I have with Flash Heal. Also, I have another problem with Flash Heal over the fact of how long it takes for it to activate Flash Heal. I feel like it should be like instant, like how they did in one of the Halloween mode, because this also was included in the Halloween mode and it was able to instantly give them, I forgot how much health points that she was able to give to our allies, but she was instantly able to give her allies the health points that she can give out to her opponents. There has been times when I just pop up the Flash Heal ability and then they wanna die and I pretty much waste the Flash Heal ability. That's why I feel like this Flash Heal is bad. It's really good if used properly, but I think that this perk needs a bit of tweaking, in my honest opinion. And like I said, I feel so that Flash Heal should not share a cooldown of Resurrection, and I feel like it should be able to pop the Flash Heals much more faster than it does right now. I mean, come on now, it's a major perk, so a major perk should be a game-changing ability. Now, the last perk that I want to talk about is Chain Boost. This perk, I feel like I want to say it's an underrated perk, but it's fine, I guess. It's not really a game-changing perk, really. It's basically a mini Valk, basically, where you're able to damage boost two allies at the same time. It can be useful, help your allies get up their ultimate much faster, and also be able to amplify their damage to eliminate their allies much quicker. And that's basically it, really. I usually use Chain Boost when I have a main healer like Ana, for example, or Baptiste or Kiriko, for example. I even sometimes use it when we have a Life Weaver or Mora, in case they're pretty good at healing the team, basically. But that's what mainly I feel like Chain Boost is also a very situational perk really. Like let's say for example you have Reinhardt, Widowmaker, and Tracer for example. Widowmaker typically usually stay behind the back lines mainly, while Reinhardt is not the best character to damage boost, and Tracer's usually at the enemy's backline trying to pick out the squishies. In that situation, I find chain boost to be very situational, but there are other instances where chain boost is actually useful for like this clip for example, where I had Zarya and Reaper and I was able to use chain boost and be able to help Zarya and Reaper eliminate the team, which ultimately helped us win this match. But like I said, if this team comp didn't work out and they decided to go for like the team comp that I originally said, then you kind of waste, I won't say waste, but it's like, dang, I kind of wish I picked a better perk situational. Now, I don't think chain boost is a bad perk, but I mean, it's kind of unoriginal in my honest opinion. It's basically just like a mini Valk. Basically, excuse me. I just wish overall, yeah. Let me give you my not my final thoughts on this just yet. Let me just wrap it up with chain boost. I think this perk is really good over the fact that you can help your teammates out on amplifying their damage. I've seen a lot of Mercy mains and even myself included where I was able to get over 4,000 damage boost potential with it, so it's really good. But let's just conclude over with my overall final thoughts of it, because I'm about to just get into the nitty-gritty on this. Basically, overall, like I said, with Mercy's perks, I really think that it's very mid. Like I said though, I think Mercy's perks is somewhat good. Like I said, with Wing Reach, I was able to reach to Doomfist and I was able to save him. And not only with Doomfist, I was able to pocket and heal Pharah and Echo a bit better. And I was able to reach other farther targets like Widowmaker and Ana, for example. I think Flash Heals is also not a bad perk as well. Like I said, it helped me out a lot when I have to solo heal, like if I had a Zenyatta or Lucio or Eladi, for example, characters like who are not so dependent on healing as much. I think that Flash Heal does come in clutch at times when you are having to like be like a main healer at times. And like I said, with also chain boost, I think chain boost is also not a bad perk as well, since I'm able to help out my allies more with getting their kills much more faster and able to get their ultimates much quicker as well. But overall, I would have liked for Blizzard to give Mercy more of a game-changing perks, like how they did with Kiriko and Tracer, for example. Like with their perks are like a lot of fun and gives you more creativities of using their perks, while as Mercy it's just like a quality of life change, like quality of life perks basically from Mercy, which honestly, if you ask me, I think Wing Reach should be a buff instead of being a perk, in my honest opinion. And yeah, I just think that Blizzard could have done a better job with this. Like I remember Skietzi made a video and have her idea on what she would have done with giving her a perk. Like I really like the idea of extending the reach of her healing and healing beam and her damage boosts. I really like that as well. That creates a much more of a changing gameplay with Mercy. Not only that, but this also help her of her survivability, being able to get a be at a safe distance while healing and damage boost or pocketed your allies. My idea would have been like they could like, or Sketchy also said, where they can give her like two resurrections really. I was really sad they didn't do anything special or new with resurrection, because I've always find that her resurrection overall is also mid as well. Like, I probably would have liked it if they would have give Mercy two resurrection charges like they did with Symmetra, for example, where Symmetra has another additional turret. Maybe they could have done that with Mercy, or they could have done, like, let's say you use one resurrection, and then when you pop out Valkyrie, you get another resurrection. Basically, I don't know if that would be a good idea or not, but I can't think of any other good perks or ideas for her perks as of right now. Maybe I can make another video going over like my ideas of like what Mercy perks should be. But yeah, overall, it's just I have very mixed feelings and opinion on Mercy's perks. Basically, I miss playing Mercy a lot, which is why I am back to playing Mercy, and I do tend to play more Mercy in upcoming videos. So if you guys are a Mercy main just as much as me, do consider subscribing, because that would definitely help me out a lot. That will conclude on today's video. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Tell me what you guys think of Mercy's perks, or give me your ideas on what Mercy perks should be, and etc. And I hope to see you guys later. Until then, see you later.